think it's over now. You're wrong.
All aboard the night train.
It's over, Prime.
This is the siege.
I'm a man of my word.
Hey. Yeah. Dead or alive, consider this home. No killing the vibe in the night watch zone. Xenomorphs hype when the lights come on. Hit a like and subscribe and the show might blow. Go viral, no COVID. It's a spiral emotions. Hand on the Bible. Only go sound and the dopest your vitals. Better tune in, yeah, you know it's vital. From Schwarzenegger to Kane Hodder. Corey G down to Harry Potter. Shit's Sigourney Weaver, love the night watch zone. Come with me to the night watch zone.
Well, there are two things a man should never run from, even if they cost him his life.
Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, Tuesday night, and you know where we gotta go. We gotta go back to Battle World. Kills with me, Coriander, and Eric, as always. Guys, tonight we have a really interesting matchup, and I think it's been a long time coming. Kill, this was a suggestion of yours. We talked about this, maybe doing this a while back, actually. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen between these two films. Real quick for you guys in the chat, a blanket hello. Thank you guys for being here. Russell's in the chat. What's going on? Russell and Russell. Russell and Russell.
Hey. The Russells.
Love it.
Welcome.
Ginger Ninja, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. All right. We got Melissa. Melissa's in the chat. Good to see you. Let's see who else we got. Julie. Julie's in the chat. Hey, Julie. How you doing?
Hey.
Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, too. Wayne's in the chat. What's up, Wayne? Let's see. Who else do we have? You guys are so funny, man. As I'm going through all these comments. Oh, man. Paula's in the chat. And Polar, what's up? Good to see you guys. Thank you guys for coming here. Jerry's in the chat. What's up, Jerry? Good to see you. And I think I've caught up to just about everyone who's jumping in. Welcome. And by the way, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps to support the channel and also to get the stream out to other people. So let's get ready to talk about these two contestants. Let's get them official. So Eric, let's start with you. Who do we have in corner number one?
Well, it's the holiday season, and a lot of people, they celebrate that, getting together with family, showing their love, affection with each other. And even though there's a bunch of squabbles at the table, you come together and you have a good night. And what really brings a family together is when there's an outside force trying to kill every single person at that table. And mentioning all these squabbles, the scary thing is you really don't know how deep those hatreds and feuds go until you see tonight's competitor. 2013, we have You're Next.
All right. Okay, cool. Coriander, who do we have in the other corner?
All right. So some brides can't catch a break. And I'm not talking about Kill Bill. When you have to deal with the entire family of psycho cult killers, you better put on your sneakers and get a weapon and prepare to be bathed in blood and win some hide and go seek. They said, oh, it's a game. Well, we're not buying that. Here's Grace from Ready or Not.
All right. Okay. So we've got these two films. Let's get the Kills commentary. Man, you suggested this one, which was a great suggestion. What are your thoughts about this matchup?
Man, these are two great films that people do not talk about enough. Two great female protagonists, two tough women. And man, look, I love me some good games of hide and seek and things of that nature. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. And this is going to be tough. I feel like a proud dad, two daughters I love. I don't know, man.
Right? Yeah, man. There was a lot of hide and seek. On one side, it was an official one, and on the other one, it was like an unofficial game of hide and seek. So it was
Yeah.
pretty cool, man. But I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. But you know what? I hear something, man, and it's not people trying to hide. I hear some people coming to the. Do you hear it, Kill?
Yeah.
Do
I
hear it?
hear it. I hear it coming.
All right. So for you guys in the chat, for you guys watching the replay, sit back, relax. Let's get ready to enter Battle World.
I just think you should consider it, Tyree. Sure.
No, don't! Is this hide and seek? Are we really gonna play that?
Stupid enough.
Well, you could, stay hidden till dawn.
No, thank you.
Why the fuck not?
Want a divorce?
There it is, man.
Very good.
These two films. You see what I was doing, Kill? You see where that was coming from?
Mhm.
These movies are 6 years apart. You can see the parallels. All right, real quick. You guys know how we're going to do this. We're going to do this category by category, giving the point to the film that we think deserves it. You guys in the chat also let us know what you think. But if you send in the super chat, which we would greatly appreciate, the dollar amount of that super chat will go as points to the film of your choosing. So if you send in a $5 super chat, it's 5 points to that movie. And real quick before we begin, just to catch up to the chat, these guys are working hard, man. Wow. Hey, Denisha, good to see you. Denisha's in the
Hey.
chat. Very,
Nice.
very cool. Julie saying, I actually watched your next because of the Slasher Movie Club episode. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
That's
cool.
what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We did talk about your next on Slasher Movie Club. If you guys haven't seen that, please check it out.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. And hey, look who's in here. The birthday boy in the house. What's up?
Happy
Happy
birthday, Steven.
birthday.
A good buddy, Steven from Craven Something Scary. What's up, bro? Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
Saying, just
Steven.
dropping in for a minute.
Yeah.
Saying this is an impossible matchup. Wow. Right? Right. That's exactly why we picked this. And in most of our matches, it's always a question of two films that have similarities that it's very difficult to pick. So, but good to see you, man. I hope you are enjoying your birthday, bro. Seriously. He says,
Yeah.
thanks for the birthday wishes. You're all right, man. You're
Yeah.
all
Absolutely.
right.
I'd sing
All
it,
right.
but I can't sing, so
You can sing. Come on, girl. All right. So
Yeah.
let's start with our categories. You know how we do this thing. Eric, we're going to start with the poster. The poster for the two films. We've got the poster for Ready or Not. And we also have the poster for your next. What do you think, bro? And who's getting the point?
I've never seen that Your Next poster. Like them both. And I usually don't like posters where it's just the characters, but I'm actually going to go with Ready or Not because the way I love the color of it. You know what I mean? I love the way the font of Ready or Not is not right in the center. It's like a little off and down to the bottom.
Yeah.
I love how some are weaved, front and center, and you have the crazy ant with the battle axe and stuff like that. So it just looks cool. It doesn't look too crowded to me, like a lot of what do we call them, like floating head posters.
Right,
tend to
right.
look, but mainly the color shading in this, it just looks so cool.
Yeah. All right, man. How about you, Kill?
I agree with everything Eric said, and I've never seen a poster for Your Next. I've seen the one where it's the fox face and it's kind of front and center. Had it been that poster, I probably would have rooted for it, but I'm going with the Ready or Not poster because you have a woman, a beautiful woman in a wedding gown with shotgun shells. I mean, come on. I also, just like Eric, I love the contrast in the colors there. And I love that every single person on that poster is trying to kill her. From the grandma there with the axe, or aunt with the axe, to the servants, to the help. It's like, damn, great poster. So Ready or Not.
All right. How about you, Coriander?
Can you put the other one back up? There you go. I'm going to go with Your Next. Yeah, good for you.
All right.
I think it's creepy. I like the simplicity. And yeah, I just like it better than the other one. So there you go.
All right. For me, it's interesting because there is simplicity in the Your Next poster, and that other poster, which is like for the DVD, which focuses on the mask itself. To be quite honest, I don't have a preference between either one of them as far as for Your Next. But I got to go with Ready or Not. And you guys actually said it. One of the best things about the Ready or Not poster is I like the color palette of it. It looks kind of, I don't know, it just looks vintage. Maybe that's the word I want to use. And I really like how all of the characters, they have these weapons, and you just have Grace in the middle, with the shotgun shells. It just looks really, really cool. I also love the font for the title for Ready or Not. It just pops.
It does.
Whereas,
I don't know.
it pops more to me than Your Next. I could,
No.
And let me just say this too.
No. Let me just stop it.
Let me just say this too. Even with the DVD cover, which I have that, where it's just basically the mask, right? The only difference is it's just the mask, and the Your Next is kind of like not pencil, but it's just a line, but it's like, it's not cursive, but it's similar to what I have for the thumbnail of this. That's how it's written. And to me, that still doesn't beat Ready or Not, because I think with Ready or Not, the color palette, the vintage look, the font for Ready or Not, I think it just pops more. So that's
Ready or Not,
man.
looks like a painting that could be hanging in their mansion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
Like a portrait, like a self-portrait or something that could be hanging in their mansion.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
It looks too bland to me. You guys, the color. Yeah, it's all like one tone.
We're high class, bro. Look, Melissa's going with Your Next. Wayne and Ginger Ninja, Australian dudes, going with Your Next.
Yeah, we knew they'd be here tonight.
That's right.
Polar's going with Your Next.
You all know what's going on.
Well, we got two Australian situations here. James in the chat going with Ready or Not. Paula is going with Ready or Not. Let's see. Just want to make sure I catch up with everyone. Horror Cat Dad is in the house. What's up? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And I think I'm caught up. Russell, you're too funny. Life is Forever is in the chat. What's up? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Back for my horror fix. Well, you're in the right place. All right. Ginger Ninja saying Aussies represent. You're all right. And Denisha's going with Your Next. All right. Let's go to our next category, Eric. We've got to talk about the tagline. Okay. So the tagline for the movies. So for Your Next, the tagline is, did you remember to lock your door? Okay. And for Ready or Not, the game begins. What do you think?
I think I'm going with You're Next. Did you remember to lock your door? That sounds creepy because you know something's
Mm-hmm.
outside trying to get in. And
Mm-hmm.
it work. I think it works perfectly when you have it like right next to the title. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
I think
Yeah,
Ready or
it's a
Not.
creepy damn
It's just
poster.
kind of. Well, I wouldn't say that. I think the Ready or
It
Not
is
tagline
though.
is kind of generic to me, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Your Next definitely it adds that creep factor, and you know you're getting into some type of like home invasion.
All right. How about you, Kill?
I'm not the biggest fan of either of these. But I'm gonna go with Ready or Not.
Okay.
I don't know. For me, it's just something that sounds ominous. Calling a woman with a shotgun shells around her and carrying a shotgun a game. Like the game is
Right.
about to begin. Like to these people, it's a game. To her, it's life or death.
Plus the
So
title of the film, being
yeah,
Ready or Not, the game begins. So it's like, oh shit,
yeah,
something's gonna go down.
that just sounds a little ominous to me. So
Right.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Ready or Not.
All right. Coriander, how about you?
I am gonna do You're Next. Just because I think, yeah, with that creepy poster, that line definitely suits it. And
Okay.
yeah, there you go.
All right. For me, yeah, I agree with Kill as far as I think both of these are they're pretty much standard. They don't really pop too much. I think with You're Not, did you remember to lock your door? It's like, yeah, well, yeah. And if you didn't remember, you're silly. But with Ready or Not, the game begins. That's pretty standard as well. So I'm actually going to go with You're Next on this. I think that it just hits a little bit harder, even though I think both of them are pretty standard. This was actually a close one. Neither one of them really jumped out at me personally. So, all right. Ginger Ninja going with You're Next. All right. Very, very cool. Let's see. I want to make sure I catch up. Paul is going with Ready or Not, and James is going with Ready or Not. Okay. Very cool. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about the opening of the film, which is usually the first couple minutes, maybe up to 15 minutes. So, Eric, what do you think?
The way I'm taking this is going to be just basically the opening kill scenes of both films. I think that would be pretty easy.
Yeah.
And I'm going with Ready or Not.
Okay.
Your Next is good. It's a typical, man finds his wife murdered and he's the next victim.
Right.
What I like is the creepiness and the weirdness, how weird Ready or Not is. You have these two children, they're one brother shoves a brother, hide in the closet. And then you have another person, begging for help, impaled by an arrow. His bride is behind him. These weird people in the masks, and then they drag him away. What are we getting into? You know what I mean? There's some type of murder thing with children involved. And that's, getting me pumped up to see where this story is going to go more than Your Next would be.
Okay. All right. Kill, how about you?
I like the opening of both, but I'm gonna go with You're Next on this one. Mainly for kind of how it was shot. Essentially, you have a husband and wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, and they're just in their house, they're enjoying themselves, doing things. And then he goes to shower, he comes back and he sees You're Next, biggest day on a mirror, written in something red, it could be blood, you don't know. But the way that you see the dead body is how the camera kind of pans forward on the You're Next and then kind of slowly pans back, and he sees feet and blood behind the bed. And then, he turns and so forth. And it's just kind of like, for me, just the way it was shot, I admired more than the action per se that was in it and so forth.
Okay. All right.
And it intrigued me to want to know, like, what's next? Why is this Fox masked guy doing this? So
okay. All right. How about you, Coriander?
Like you both have been saying it, well, all of you, we all like these movies. And both of these openings, they were good. So to pick, it's like whatever, man. I'm gonna have to go with. I think I'm gonna have to go with You're Next, just because it just brought me in more, I guess. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. For me, I think, and again, both of these openings are really, really good. They're shot well. They're suspenseful, all those types of things. But for me, I'm gonna. Well, first of all, let me just explain. So, Your Next is really, really suspenseful. You've got the whole idea of a home invasion and so forth, and then the guy finding his girl and seeing Your Next on the wall. With Ready or Not, you've got the two kids, you got the guy that's got the arrow in his back, he's asking the kids to help me, and then you got all these people in the mask and so forth. Now, I'm going to pick this based upon curiosity. So for me, I'm going to go with Ready or Not, because I have no clue what the fuck is going on. And when I first saw it, I was like, where is this going? And so it was very original. With Your Next, we've seen that. We've seen home invasion. We knew, someone's going to die. We figured that the guy was going to die. It was done very well. It was very stylized and shot well. But I think Ready or Not is very original in its concept, and the fact that you had these two kids, because I kept thinking, well, what's going to happen to the kids? You know what I mean? I was invested, and the movie had just started. So just based upon having that originality and kind of hooking me in a different type of way, I'm going to go with Ready or Not for the opening. Okay, let's see what we got going on in the chat. Ginger Ninja saying Your Next sets it up as a brutal movie, and from that scene, it doesn't stop. Yeah, it doesn't. It's very, very true. Melissa's going with Your Next. Let's see. Polar is going with Ready or Not. Okay, very, very cool. And by the way, Sarah's in the chat. Good to see Sarah. Saying, ooh, this is going to be a good one. It will be a good one because both of these movies are really, really good. Polar saying, right, Sarah, rearrange my work schedule for this. So that's what I'm talking about. You guys are all right. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Seriously. Very, very cool. Thank you, Polar. And let's see. I want to make sure I catch up to you guys as much as I can. Wayne prefers Your Next. Okay. All right. But again, we're going category by category. So remember that. That's the whole reason that we do this. So, Eric, let's go to our next category. We're going to be going to the music, to the musical cues in the films. Who gets the point?
This is tough. But I'm going to go with Ready or Not. I mean, they both add to the tension really, really well. But I think that the music for the intensity is used better in Ready or Not. And I love the two times that the hide and seek song is played. You know what I mean? That just, you have the first time when it's played, it's weird. It's awkward because it's adults playing hide and seek. You know what I mean? But then the second time when it's played, that's like a chef's kiss, to help end the film with its context. So I'm going to go with Ready or Not.
All right. How about you, Kill?
It's so funny that Eric said that, because that I'm going to get you popped into my head. But then on Ready or Not, then on Your Next, that song that keeps playing in a loop in the dead couple's house.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah, it's catchy.
And so, but they both have great music, but literally those two earworms peek out from both of these. I gotta go with Your Next. Because I'm sorry, when our protagonist in Your Next really starts to get into her Rambo mode, that music kicks in really well, and she goes from prey to predator. But they both have great music. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Your Next on this one.
All right, how about you, Coriander?
Yeah, I gotta go with Your Next. I mean, Killing was saying it with that opening song in the loop, and it
The one
sticks
that
with
I
you.
imagine that you sing.
E.
You remember?
You mean the one you sing?
I said that to her. I said, oh man. Anyways,
Anyway,
okay.
yeah.
So you go with your next. All
Yeah.
right. Real quick too in the chat. Doom Turkey's in the chat saying everyone knows Samara's scream sounds like a dying goat. It's an easy win. I know, man. When she screams, man, it sounds for real.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like it's coming from her soul because it actually her voice breaks in the scream.
She definitely has to have water afterwards. I guarantee it.
Yes, no doubt. I didn't want her to frig up her vocal cords or something. Melissa's going with your next. Julie's going with Ready or Not. All right, Wayne's going with your next. Let's see. Russell's saying this is a hard one. They're all difficult, man. Seriously. Julie saying the hide and seek song was such a creepy original soundtrack. It was, man. It really was. Doom, doom, doom.
I'm going to get you.
Polar is saying Ready or Not again for me. Oh no, am I leaning to the other side now? Right? It's really both of these movies have some good stuff. Paul is going with Ready or Not. For me, this is tough, man, because I do think both movies have good cues where it's tension or it's building up moments of action or horror, whatever. So that's one thing. But then for Ready or Not, you do have that jaunty, old school, creepy ass type of music that comes in, and that's really a nice little touch. Also, that scene where you even have classical music when Grace is in the car and it flips upside down. It's a great camera shot and stuff. The guy that loves the classical music. So it's good stuff in that. Your next also has some really cool like electronic music, like especially when Erin is on the hunt, and like even at the end we had it in the intro when she's like taking out her boyfriend. And you know me, I'm a sucker for that stuff because that's like some 80s Carpenter shit. So I gotta go with your next on this. Totally based on that. It's actually very close for me. I think both movies have some really good music choices, but I'm gonna slightly edge it out to your next. Okay, this is gonna be good. Wayne saying, I guarantee I vote your next for every category. And if you do that, you're not doing Battle World right. We're going by category, like for real,
No
not on your
here.
bias. Good Lord. Like if I said, well, anyways, next, Eric, story. Which is the better story?
Oh man, I love them both, especially with the twists and turns that are in the story. Yeah. But again, this is only the second time I've seen both of these films, and I'm gonna go with Ready or Not because of how unique it is. I do like Your Next, but it's the home invasion, just the air quotes typical home invasion. For me, Ready or Not, the fact that there's ritual sacrifices that have to be done before sunrise. Are they successful, are they not successful? Which character is actually the air quotes good character in this crazy fucked up family? You know what I mean? I gotta go with Ready or Not. It was more twists and turns, and this sounds bad, more fun for me compared to Your Next, but I'm going with Ready or Not.
All right, Kill, how about you?
Man, this is tough because they both have great and messed up twists. I actually think Your Next has a way more twisted kind of thing with the reasoning for the home invasion and who plotted and planned it and so forth. They're both good. Man, you have Ready or Not with the whole making pacts with the devil, essentially. But there's no lying here. And because I love like movies like Die Hard, where you can't trust Hans Gruber and he's right behind you, that, don't ask me why I brought that up, but it reminds me a little bit of Your Next, where like she thinks that she could trust these people, but she's about to get hit in the back of the head with a piece of wood with a nail, So yeah, I got to go with Your Next.
All right.
Very barely.
All right. Coriander, how about you?
You know, I like them both, but
Mhm.
I am gonna go with Ready or Not just because, I mean, yeah, how many times have you seen, on your wedding day, a bride
Right.
having to, so yeah, I'm going with that. There you go.
All right. For me, I think the story is good for both of them. I think that they achieve what they set out to do very well, and I think that's why both of these movies are really, really good. Both of them have above 80% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Your Next at 81, Ready or Not at 89. That being said, when I think of the stories, and I think Eric, you said it really well. I'm going to go with Ready or Not because I didn't know what to expect from this thing from the very first minute of watching it. Whereas with Your Next, I knew what to expect. It's a home invasion movie and someone's going to survive. Now the fact that she got betrayed, that was a great twist in Your
Hmm.
Next, right? That was a really, really good twist. With Ready or Not, there was twists like that as well. But also, is this real? Is it not? I didn't believe it was real until the end, as far as the whole cult thing and
Same
pact with
here.
the devil. So when it happened at the end, spoilers, when it happened at the end, I was like, oh shit. And it was kind of like this big, it was a huge gag, you know what I mean? So I just think Ready or Not is more creative and had me guessing more through the whole movie, more so than Your Next. It's not a slight against Your Next, but I just think Your Next is a little bit more of a simpler storyline. So I'm going to go with Ready or Not. And real quick, just to jump in the chat, we've got James saying definitely Ready or Not. The story was unique. All right. Savage Zombies in the chat. What's going on? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Polar says, You're next. And I'm back. All right. She's going back and forth in these movies. That's good. Savage Zombie going with Your Next. Brilliant film. Julie's going with Ready or Not. All right. Russell's going with Your Next. Wayne saying, Your Next for me. The whole story was predictable for me. Ready or Not. No, it wasn't.
The whole story?
I've never seen a movie like that.
Well, I mean, yes and no. Making pacts
What?
with devils, and it's gonna end bad.
Good point. Good point. Good point. All right, man. Next up, let's go to the supporting characters, Eric. Supporting characters. So between the two films, obviously not including Grace or Aaron, which group of supporting characters are you going to give the point to?
Oh, I'm going with Ready or Not. I had more fun with them. I liked Your Next. I like, for the most part, we'll say a close family. I just think there's more personality to the characters in Ready or Not. You had the evil looking aunt she's like Medusa. She'll kill you with one look. You know what I mean? Andy McDowell is great. I love the dad who is insistent on playing by the rules. That great grandpa did. You know what I mean? But then you also throw in the help. I loved the butler. Like he was obsessed with whistling the 1812 overture, even when he's got Samara Weaving kidnapped in the back seat. You know what I mean? You got the one sister who is accidentally killing the wrong person. I think there's a better mixture of more fun and memorable characters in Ready or Not.
Okay. All right. Kill, how about you?
This is tough because you essentially have two wealthy families that live in beautiful homes.
Right.
I agree with Eric in one sense that the Ready or Not supporting characters were funnier and definitely had bigger personalities, but the characters from Your Next, especially like the brothers, and how you have the one brother that just looks for every opportunity to mess with his other brother, to just poke at him. But unfortunately, other than him, the Your Next supporting characters were kind of just okay. Here's mom, she's cool. Dad is cool. Everyone else was just kind of just there. So yeah, I agree with Eric. I'm gonna go with Ready or Not because they were just hilarious.
Yeah.
All right, Coriander, how about you?
Yeah, I have to go with Ready or Not also. I mean, the aunt, I think she was probably like one of my favorites. So those mean looks like when they were getting married and she looked over at her, it was like, wow, you know.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
All right. For me, I have to agree with everything all of you said. I just think that the characters are Ready or Not, they popped more. They had more to do, and also to differentiate themselves between each other. Like they had different like tones and beats, right? You know, because you had Henry Czerny as the father, you know, who's freaking out as the game is going awry. You had Annie McDowell, who's trying to keep everything together, and she was kind of like, you know, the matriarch and so forth. You had the aunt who always gave the evil look. She was just funny to look at, you know.
Yeah.
When Grace was pulling the card, what card did you pull, girl? You know, just when she killed that one maid with the axe, you know, stuff like that. So I just think they had more variety and more pop.
The one butler who was watching YouTube videos on how to use a crossbow.
Yes. yes. And he's texting. He's like, what's up? And he's like, nothing, you know, family shit, you know. It's like, he had no clue how deep he was in, bro. He had no clue that he was literally shoulder to shoulder with Satan himself, right? So, all right. Let's see. Ginger Ninja going with Ready or Not. Okay. Melissa's going with You're Next. Russell going with Ready or Not. Let's see. Just to catch up here. Julie's going with Ready or Not. Polar says, I'm thinking. All right. That's cute. Julie's saying, I hated everybody except Aaron in You're Next. All right. Polar saying, I actually am going to go Ready or Not for supporting characters. Let's see. Wayne's going with You're Next for supporting cast. All right. Let's see. Sarah saying supporting characters is hard. It's a toss-up. Okay. Ginger Ninja saying You're Next supporting cast. Barbara Crampton, enough said. Now, bro, you know we're fans of Barbara, but they didn't give Barbara enough to do with that movie.
She didn't really do that much.
I'm being honest, bro, and you know I'm a big fan of Barbara, but they didn't give her enough to. If they did, which they should have, you know, that would have been pretty cool because like when everything started going down and she started freaking out, I was hoping that she was going to be more involved in the story for at least a little bit longer, but they killed her pretty much right after the action started. Yep. And although that was a good plot device for the family, especially the father, it was like, man, you just took out probably the most seasoned actor in this whole thing. What's up with that? She's a scream queen. What are you doing? You know. James going with supporting characters in Ready or Not. They were crazy and fun. All right. Good stuff. Let me just catch up. I think we got everyone in here. Sarah said, I just remember she said, I remember the brother looking up videos on how to use the crossbow. I right.
That's just fun writing.
Oh God, too funny. Jason's in. It was, you know, it really was. Jason's in the chat. What's up, Jason? Good to see you. And let's see. And hey, we got our first super chat. It happened. Russell's coming in. $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Russell. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It helps us out. Helps the channel. Saying, hey, Night, Eric, Killian, and lovely Coriander and chat. Great channel. And Kinfolk. Thank you so much, Russell. We appreciate that, man. Seriously. Very, very kind of you. Let us know if you'd like that to go to a movie or if you're just doing that to just support the channel. Either way, we really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Russell.
Yeah. Seriously, it helps us to continue to do streams like this at the pace we do every week. Let's play something for you. Here we go. We got something for you here, Russell.
Bring that fat ass over.
That's the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard.
That's nasty. Oh my god.
Look at Kill. Kill, where you going, bro?
Was he getting high off the candy cane?
Off the ass candy cane.
But as bad as that was, like sniffing and then the where do you find this?
Hey, look.
He does this all at work, I bet, is what he's doing.
Hey, look, when I saw that, I was like, there's no way I can't put that into a super chat clip.
Oh, I kind of want to see it again.
Oh, well, if we get any more super chats, we will.
Oh,
we
Lord.
will. Oh, my God. Oh, God.
Hey, everybody's got a kink, even if it's candy cane sniffing, I guess.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Hey, Russell, thank you so much, man. We appreciate
thanks,
that.
Russell.
Look at Julie. Julie says,
It's the ass candy cane.
Oh, whew. Okay, that was good. All right, I gotta collect myself. All right, that was the look on Kill's face when it was playing. That was the best part, man.
I'm sorry.
I was wondering if he was going to fall out of the chair.
Oh,
almost.
Oh man. All right.
Happy holidays.
Wayne's in. Where is James? We can't rely on one person, Wayne. Come on, man. Throw it a buck. Come on. All right. Next up, Eric. We got to talk about the director of these two films. Who did the better job? We've got Adam Wingard for your next, and of course, we've got Radio Silence for your next. What do you think? I'm sorry. Did I say that right?
What?
Yeah. We got Radio Silence for Ready or Not.
Oh, God,
I'm confused. No.
It's the candy cane that's throwing me off, Coriander. It's
It
okay.
is, man.
We're still all
It
affected.
Yeah,
you put this hard category after showing that shit. I'm gonna, I'm actually gonna go with your next on this. And they're both great directors because both of them are shot fantastically. It's pretty much just a coin toss. I think a lot of it has to do for me is the I guess you'd say fight scenes or battle scenes in your next. I just think they're more intense because a lot of them were close-up shots, especially that scene at the dinner table when the arrows are going through the windows and stuff like that. It's chaos, but it's not like shaky cam. You know what I mean? You can still tell everything that's going on at the moment. So it's confusing. It's intense, but you can still see what each character is doing. And that's why I'm going with that one. This one was really tough.
It is a tough one. I think so too. Kill, how about you?
This is a tough one. And if you ask me on a different day, I might go the other way. I gotta go with your next. It's mean. When it gets rolling, like the way people get aced out, it's very visceral.
It's good.
It's alarming on just how quick certain people get aced out. And the way they kind of do things to kind of play on like our own kind of thought pattern real quick. Like, for instance, somebody has to go run for help. And that sequence where that young lady takes off her shoes, gets a running start, and sure enough, the way that the camera was shot, there was a wire right there, and just it's just horrific, but it fit the movie perfectly. I gotta go with your next.
All right, Coriander, how about you?
Yeah, this is hard.
I think so too. I mean, I think both films had good direction.
They do, but shit. I think I'm gonna go with your Ready or Not, just because there's more characters, and it all worked, and I mean, it just more was happening. And that ending, they both had their surprise endings, but when those people started blowing up, it was like, holy shit, man. So, I mean, I have to go with Ready or Not.
Okay. All right. Polar is going with your next. Let's see. Julie saying, I think I'll go your next because I like that it felt gritty. Holy crap. Wayne says, I can't believe this. I'm going Ready or Not. There you go, bro. See, there's no lying. There is never been any lying here. I almost want to play that clip for you, bro. That's
Do
good. Let's see. Polar saying only bad direction was them not stopping the film and demanding a different mask when the lamb showed up. I couldn't stop laughing. Rest of them were terrifying, but that lamb, that's funny. That lamb,
he was huge. Though.
That's funny. That lamb. I never heard anyone say that.
That was the funny mask, though.
Good. Yeah, he was the outlier, wasn't he? For me, this is tough, man, because I think both films were well directed. Okay, the action was good, the dark humor was good, the endings were good, the twists were good. It's really a toss up. The only thing, and Coriander, you probably said it best. I'm gonna go just barely with Ready or Not, and the reason I'm gonna do that again is because having more characters that really leapt off the screen, right? Like multiple characters, even other than Grace, that are memorable that I could literally think about their scenes, And I think that to balance a movie with more characters that pop, it takes a lot of skill, because you just have more that you're juggling. Whereas with your next, it was great. It was shot well. But again, even with the great Barbara Crampton, it's like she didn't leap off the screen because they didn't give her enough to do. Now, granted, that's not what they wanted to do. They wanted it to be lean and mean, and we're basically following Aaron, and that's great for what it is. But when I think of the juggling act, I gotta just barely give it to Radio Silence for Ready or Not. All right. Very, very cool. Okay, let me catch up to the chat. I'm still thinking about Polar talking about that lamb.
Oh, that lamb.
She said that lamb. That's too funny. Oh man. Wayne saying, I thought I would go your next every category. Not that I was definitely going to automatically go your next for every category. What? All right. I think I get it. Okay. Next up, next category. Eric, the most memorable character in either movie.
I can't help. I'm terrible with names. I've said that in many streams, but I'm going with the aunt in Ready or Not. How could you not forget her? Every time she's on screen, just killing you with a gaze, just being like the evilest person in the world. Killing somebody because someone else didn't have the heart or the guts to do so. And she is like the perfect mixture of just an evil, wicked woman. And I as bad as she is, I loved her in that movie. So I'm going with her.
All right. Kill, how about you?
See, this is tough in a way. I'm just gonna say my character and then I'll explain why. I'm going with the Fox Mask Killer. and let me explain.
Go ahead.
For me, it's memorable because once again, I'm just really giving a lot of credit to the way it's shot. When they'll show maybe a reflection from a window and it's totally dark, and then you see the white mask just kind of fade in, and then kind of fade out, things of that nature. I love just kind of how it kind of had a ghost face kind of appeal to me. Not the lamb mask or the other one, just specifically the fox one. Because just because of just it being just white and how it kind of would just anytime any of them would come in a room, the first thing you see is the mask, and then it's like, oh, what is that? And then the rest of the killer. So yeah, the Fox Mask Killer is the most memorable character.
Mask Killer. Shout out to these masks tonight, man. I'm telling you. All right.
Look, because they look just innocent. They're not menacing. They're not happy. They're just a plain slate,
Blank.
That's true. That's true. All right. Coriander, how about you? Most memorable character. And don't say the lamb. I'm just joking.
No,
That
no,
lamb.
no, no, no. I, you know, I'm right there with Eric. I think the aunt is a hoot,
Yeah.
and yeah, she just, yeah, I'm going with her.
All right. Okay. For me, this is yeah, man. I mean, this was an easy one because it's gonna be Ready or Not. And the aunt definitely is near the top of the list. But I gotta give a shout out to the sister who's the coke head who couldn't do
Oh, yeah.
anything right. Every
Oh
time
Yeah.
my God.
so this
We broke him.
See,
Oh no.
See,
she was on screen.
that lamb got
Oh.
him.
Yeah.
What? Every time she was on
You
screen,
froze
it
for
was
a
you
minute.
froze up,
hilarious.
Knight. Say that again.
Oh, all right. Every time that she was on screen, it was hilarious. I was just, the things that she was saying, she felt like she couldn't do anything right. And then when they had to clean up one of the bodies, and the brother was like, "Yeah, here we go. We're the fuck ups," and she's like, "I don't want to be a fuck up, Dad." And he's like, "Go listen to your mother." So shout out to her. Also shout out to Henry Czerny, because he was funny too, especially when he starts to lose it because the game isn't going right and he's unraveling. So I definitely got to go with Ready or Not. So let me just catch up with these guys. Most memorable character. So Polar says definitely that lamb. There you go. It's too funny, man. Julie saying a close second to the aunt was the singing butler. Yeah, he was funny.
He was good.
Paula says the one in the wedding dress. Yes, Grace. Sarah says the sister from Ready or Not, who's off a rocker on cocaine, just pushing down the trauma, trying to get through the night. Unhinged energy. Yes. Kenny's going with Aaron from You're Next. All right. Let's see. Jeez, Polar. Oh my God. Oh yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I guess she was memorable because of that.
Yeah.
She was disgusting, man. All right. Next category. Your favorite scene from either movie, Eric.
All right. What do I always say? I always go with the first thing that pops in my head. I'm going with You're Next. And it's when that poor sister is going to do that sprint outside, or the daughter, when she's going to do that sprint, she's taking off her, dad, and I don't know who else is, getting ready to open the door. She's taking off her high heels. She even cracks her neck. Like she's getting ready to run.
That was good added feature.
Yeah. She runs in slow motion, and she's not going to make it. That's the thing. She's going to get taken up, but it's going to be when. Is she going to make a couple yards? Is she going to get taken out by an arrow? Like right when she exits the door, that poor girl doesn't even get outside because of the piano wire.
Yeah.
And that was an oh shit moment for me. And it was cringy. It was sad. It was well shot. Again, that one scene with you see the wire and the blood dripping down it. Oh, gotta go with Your Next, hands down.
All right. Kill, how about you?
This is the first easy street of the night for me. It's where Aaron just goes savage in the kitchen. When Aaron in You're Next kills one of the brothers who was kind of behind this, him and his crazy girlfriend, kills him by smashing a blender on his head and then turning it on and essentially blending his brain. I mean, smoothie. Yeah, she made a smoothie out of him.
Yeah.
Aaron gives no fucks anymore in this scene and she hulks out on them, and it is glorious. She is a badass, and that scene was just amazing. So yeah, I gotta go with You're Next.
All right, Coriander, how about you?
So I have to go with the ending of Ready or Not, when the whole family explodes. And that was just like,
what was that?
explodes. Oh,
Yeah.
can you hear me now? Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
When
Yeah.
it gets like all over her. I mean,
Yeah.
all over her. Yeah,
All right.
man.
Okay. And it's funny because that's exactly what I was gonna say too. It's like, because I honestly, up to that point, I was like, this can't, come on, this can't be real. I really thought that they were gonna play it so that it wasn't real. And
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think Julie in the chat was saying that was the original idea. I had heard that it was gonna not be real at first. I'm glad it was, because I was just
Me
like, are
too.
you
Mhm.
serious? It
Mhm.
was just like, are you serious that it's actually real? Because like nobody believed it other than the aunt and Henry Czerny, the father. Even all the kids are
Mhm.
like, well, we don't know if this is real, blah blah blah. So I thought that was just so over the top crazy, and the way it was done, and Samara
You
Weaving's
listen to your
reaction.
elders, you know?
Right there, you go. That's why you do it.
That aunt tells me to
Right?
do something, I do it.
Yes, no doubt. All right, next up, the favorite kill in either movie. Eric, what do you think?
Mhm.
Again, I'm gonna go with we'll keep it short and sweet. I'm gonna go with the piano wire when she's trying to run, outside. It's totally unexpected. The added, stuff to with the slow motion and neck cracking, like she's gonna run like a professional, and then just taken out. Going with the same choices last time.
All right, how about you, Kill?
I gotta agree that piano wire, because I was not expecting it, and then when it does happen, and it doesn't cut her head off in any way, but
Right.
when she hits it and just falls back and is gurgling blood and just dying, it's so visceral. It's sad because
Mhm.
you're rooting for her, like, yo, yeah,
Yeah.
she's the fastest one. She took her shoes off. She's cracking her neck, and just for literally, it just her to slam it to like a wall, figuratively. It's just like, well, damn, that didn't work. So yeah, I gotta go with that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, how about you, Coriander?
So mine is from your next. And I don't know what mask the dude was wearing, unfortunately. So I can't play in
It
that
wasn't
little
the lamb.
charade. Nope.
We know it wasn't
No,
the
I don't
lamb.
know. Actually, it could be. I don't know. It was the brother that she killed, the first bad guy she killed with the mallet. And she just kept
Oh yeah.
smashing him. And you could tell
Yeah.
right there that, wow, this
That's a good
girl
one.
can, yeah, she's like brutal. And I loved it.
Yes. For me, and this was kind of close. I'm picking your next, but it was close with the piano wire. But I gotta go with the blender, man, because in that
That
scene,
is a good one.
I really thought to myself, not that I thought that they were going to overpower her, but it was a good tense moment because it's 2 against 1. And I mean, she's very capable, but I mean, she's not a superhero. She's human. She gets hurt, and she deals with fear and so forth. So I was like, well, how is she going to get out of this, man? And when she was able to overpower that one brother, and then put the blender on his head and trying to put the plug I couldn't believe it as a first time watching. And I was like, come on, get it.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, and they showed it. And then she killed the girlfriend with the stab. Is like right to the head. I was like, oh my God. So I gotta go with that scene in your next. All right. Let me catch up to the chat a little bit. The blender to the head for Ginger Ninja. All right. Yeah, it was a great one, man. Great one. Paula's going with Ready or Not. Kenny in the chat, what's up, Kenny? Saying every kill from your next. All right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Julie said favorite kill was in Ready or Not when the husband starts begging for the forgiveness after trying to sacrifice Grace. Sir, please.
Yeah.
Right? Right. I know. He's like, he didn't take me, and it's because of you. And then she's like, I want a divorce. That was just great. It was great delivery from both of those actors. Sarah agreeing with Julie. Yeah. And Russell, lamb mask, right? Who would have thought that the lamb mask or even the fox mask was going to get some love tonight? It's crazy. Let's see. Polar saying, or even when he knocks the sister-in-law through the patio door, I felt winded after that scene. That's a good one too, man. It's good stuff. Both of these movies have some good stuff, no doubt. Let's see. And Polar was saying the meat tenderizer. So she's agreeing with
Yeah.
you, Coriander. That was a good scene, and you're next. Really visceral. Okay, Eric, next up. Which movie is more rewatchable? Rewatchability.
For me, this is pretty easy. They're both great, but I'm gonna go with Ready or Not just because. I mean, we love our horror, so they're all fun. But I just think Ready or Not has got that fun factor, that pushes it past Your Next because of the multiple characters, and I love the story, but it's those characters, and they're all different. They all have their goofiness, their funniness, their craziness. I just have a lot more fun with it. So, Ready or Not.
Okay. All right. How about you, Kill?
See, it's interesting. With this one, I thought I knew exactly which one it is. But for me, it's Your Next. Because I just love watching Aaron not evolve into this, but to display it to everyone else that I'm just this good at killing people. Whereas with Grace evolves into this badass. So for me, and maybe I'm just sick, I love watching Aaron do her thing, and just how other people just start to look at her like her fiance said, who knew you were so good at killing people? you ruined my plan, Mr. McGee. Like some Scooby-Doo mystery. Yeah, so I gotta go with You're Next on this one.
All right. Coriander, how about you? Which one's more rewatchable to you?
You're muted.
Oh, you're muted, Coriander. Okay.
The lamb.
I'll jump. Yeah, don't even go there. I'll jump in. It's to me, I think that both of these films are really, really rewatchable. And I enjoy them both, but I gotta go with Ready or Not, because I think, and Eric, you made a good point. I think that with Ready or Not, so we get the tension, we get the horror aspect, and we also get the gore and the kill and the blood, but we also get like a lot of fun, like and I've seen both of these movies multiple times, but even right before we were doing this episode, watching Ready or Not, I'm still getting a kick out of especially these other characters, you know what I mean? So it was one of those things where, to me, that just pushes it just a little bit more as far as rewatchability, because again, you got all these different characters in that movie that pop, as well as Samara, the lead. All right, Coriander, how about you? Which film is more rewatchable?
What kind of question is that? Because they're both rewatchable.
Well, but which one is more rewatchable? So we're just talking about rewatchability.
I mean, I could
factor.
rewatch them the same amount. I can't pick this question. I don't know.
Flip a quarter.
Well, you got to pick it. You probably didn't hear what we were saying. Well, I won't.
Well, I mean, what does
which film? I mean, it's basically which one. Well, no, I won't make it more complicated.
You don't have to. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. I'm gonna say. Oh my God.
Jeez.
Okay, I'm gonna say. This really sucks, but I guess I'm gonna say. Ready or Not.
Okay. All right. Let's go to our next category.
Poor girl.
Eric. So both of our protagonists are badasses. We've got one that played that move like Trish in Friday 4 and jumped out of the friggin' window. Shout out to Aaron. And also with Grace in Ready or Not, when she was about to fall back down in that basement, man, there's only one way that you can make sure you don't. There's only one way that you're not going to fall, and that's to stab your already injured hand.
She already has a hole, so yeah, man.
Bro, do you want to explain it to me, man?
I will.
Jeez. So you're either going to stab your hand, and you've also got to pull your hand off of the nail. So which scene are you going with, Eric?
Oh, this one's super easy for me. Going with Grace and the hanging hand. I mean, Aaron's great she gets an escape, but I cringe every time. You know, I watched it twice, but both times I've cringed when Grace has to stab herself in the hand just so she can get better grip on that wood. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it faked me out the first time I saw it because I thought it was going to go through the hole in her hand. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You know, but you hear that
Batting.
squish. You hear that squish, and that just makes it even more painful to watch for her. But she doesn't give up, and she's successful, and gotta go with that.
All right, Kill. How about you?
Look, Jigsaw would be proud at Grace's will to survive. I gotta go with the hanging hand, man, because that's some
Hey, that's
straight up
true.
sauce shit right there.
You're right,
Jigsaw
bro.
would be like, "You have passed this challenge, Grace."
That is all right, man. You're right. John Kramer is probably smiling.
He's
good.
clapping. He's like,
I like
"Well
that.
played."
That's awesome, man. Good for you. All right, Coriander, how about you?
You know, I think I'm gonna say The Jump. I don't
Okay.
like heights, and the
Right,
fact
yeah.
that
Yeah, me
this
neither.
chick, didn't think twice. She even like ran as fast as she could and just jumped out the friggin' window. I mean, you could have fallen on, some spear, from a fence, or you just never know what the hell. Because anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, and you know me, I'm a huge fan of Trish and Friday 4
Yeah,
when
you are.
Jason was facing her, and Trish made a choice. She made
She
a
did.
choice. And for everyone that has followed since, I always reference Trish. But I got to give Erin some credit, man. You're right. She ran fast. Like it was almost a split second. That's why I put that in the intro, because I think, just the correlation of that scene. And of course, when Grace falls into that basement, it's just like both of these ladies did some huge physical stuff.
Yeah, but
Being
Grace
said,
had cushioning,
yeah, with the dead bodies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other one
But
didn't.
I mean, just showing that they're, falling from heights and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, they're doing tons of stuff. Both of
But
these ladies
the
in
other
both of
girl,
these
what the
movies.
hell's her name? Erin.
Erin.
She fell, if you ask me, a lot farther than Grace did.
Yeah. No. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just showing the parallel between the two movies.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
for this category, I got to go with The Hand, man, because to this day, every time I see it,
Oh,
I still cringe.
stop.
And the way that it's shot, and they knew what they were doing because they showed that nail long before she started losing her grip. And when I first saw that, I'm like, what is she gonna do, man? And when she stabs herself, it was great, man. And then she had to pull her hand off too.
That
or
was a
else
big
she was gonna
hole in her
fall.
hand. The fact that
Well,
she couldn't.
you hear it squish though, so it's still going through flesh and everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a little nail head compared to the hole in her hand from a bullet. There's a
But that's the whole
friggin'
point. She's
difference.
already in pain, and she went to another level of pain.
Yeah, that's why I
You
would have
think
used
about
the hole. She
she's
should
got
have
all
just
her
used the
body weight
already.
hanging on that too. You know what I mean?
Hey, it's there. I still would have used the hole. I wouldn't have made another one.
Well, I don't think that she could necessarily, measure it out, man. She was about to fall.
Hey, man, you know it's in the middle of your hand. You see that
All
friggin'
right.
nail. I mean,
All
come
right.
on.
Sarah said we got 30 likes. All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. And definitely, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps to support us. And also, if you guys could let us know where we're at now, that'd be great. All right. Real quick in the chat, let's see what these guys are saying. Julie said the dumb kid that shot her.
Right?
Oh, that was good. Yeah. Yep.
I'm glad she friggin' punched him.
I know she did. That was a good scene too, man.
Yeah.
She didn't hold back. Yeah.
She didn't.
Julie said going with the hand. Polar saying hanging hand. Paula is going with The Jump. Let's see who else. Ginger Ninja said just hit 20 likes. What? Oh, we're at 20. Let us know. Let's see. Wayne is saying neither.
Gotta pick.
All right.
Coriander had to pick. You got to pick.
I know, right? Right? Okay, let's go to our next category. Eric, your favorite family from the two films. What do you got?
Oh, I've already showed my cards for this many times. We're going Ready or Not. You know, there's dysfunctional, and then there's the Ready or Not family, and I'll just leave it at that because I've said plenty about them.
Right.
All right. How about you, Kill?
I got to go with Ready or Not because they have more of a reason for this. There's higher stakes in you know, for their reasoning behind it, whereas the other one, it's essentially two brothers that are kind of, you know, being devious. So yeah,
Right.
got to go with Ready or Not.
All right, Coriander, how about you?
I'm gonna go with Ready or Not.
Okay. All right. This episode is weird.
You started it with the candy cane, bro. So,
bro, that was a long time ago. I've almost forgotten about it.
I haven't.
Yeah, you may.
No,
have.
you haven't. For me, I gotta go. I gotta go with Ready or Not as well. And I think that again, you know, they're just very memorable. But Kill, you made a good point, man. This is that everything's on the line, man. We're in Vegas and we're almost at closeout time. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta make this thing happen. And you could really tell how dire it was, especially for the aunt and Henry Zerny, man. They were like, bro, we gotta make this happen. So just seeing them, you know, sweating was really, really cool. You're next, you know, the family dynamic with the brothers, that was a really good twist. Unfortunately, you know, we didn't see them interact as much as I think that would have been cool if we had seen them interact a little bit more, as far as, you know, this whole plot to kill the family to get the money and all that type of stuff. So that was too bad we didn't get to see. If we had seen more of that, you know, I definitely would have thought more about You're Next. All right. So Sarah saying Ready or Not because I took more glee in their demise.
Good reason.
Right? That is a good reason. I didn't think of it that way. Let's see. Polar saying the Ready or Not family was more entertaining, but they're both awful. It's very true. Very true. Polar saying Ready or Not hunted together. Your necks hunted each other. You go. Paula going with Ready or Not. Ginger Ninja saying Ready or Not fam. They are a bit kooky, but they do like to play games. Right?
I want to know what other games they play at weddings.
That's what and that's
not just hide and seek.
Exactly. And that was one thing about the movie. Wayne also going with Ready or Not, but that was one thing about the movie that I got curious about, because before she pulled the card, you know, that one brother-in-law was like, I got Old Maid. What the fuck is Old Maid? You know, and someone else got something else. And I was like, man, they could make some interesting things, you know, with this. So
like me and Rachel were watching, we were thinking, like, what else is in there? Because when she pulled, you know, hide and seek, and her husband, his eyes just told the tale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yes. Yep. Polar saying maybe we'll get a prequel someday. You never know. But I think the concept was so interesting and entertaining. It really, really was. Okay, guys, let's go to our next category. Let's see what we got, Eric. Next up, we're going with the finale. Which one you giving the point to, man?
Both are great, but I'm going with Ready or Not, because of how it seemed like there was no deal with the devil, and then just out of nowhere people start blowing up and then you finally have that scene with Grace and her husband. He's giving his spiel, you know, I love you, it's because of you, and she throws the wedding ring. He explodes, and she says, you know, what does she say? I want a divorce, or this is a divorce. I'm not gonna lie, it made me think of Arnold. You know, consider this a divorce. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Total Recall. Yeah.
And then you have that fantastic shot. The mansion's on fire. She just sits on the steps smoking a cigarette, like she just had the worst day of her life. You know what I mean? Which she did, but it's just the way Samara just looked. I gotta go with that. That's a bigger like moment that just sticks out in your head.
Well said. Kill, how about you?
I love both endings. And as much as I loved seeing the family in Ready or Not get what they deserve by blowing up, I gotta go with You're Next. Because the gut punch of her killing the one brother and then having his phone and hearing her fiance say the words, "Is it done? Are they all dead?" You know, things of that nature. And for her to confront him, you know, and it's just like, just that gut punch, and then she kills him, and then the final gut punch of her home alone death trap being triggered by the cop who just shot her, like something from Night of the Living Dead. Oh, you survived all of this,
yes,
and now I'm gonna shoot you. And then for her to be like, no, and it's like, you're next in red.
Right.
I gotta go for your next. You know, just all of that combined, awesome.
Yep. All right. Coriander, how about you?
I enjoyed them both, you know, but I am gonna go with Ready or Not. So yeah.
Okay. All right. This is really tough, man, because I think both finales are really, really good. They play, both of them play with the gore, both of them play with the reveal. And both reveals, there's a symmetry to them, and that's part of the reason why this is a great matchup. I tried to show that in the intro. At the end, it was basically our protagonists with the love of their life that betrayed them. In the love of their lives, both movies are begging for forgiveness and wanting to move on. So both of these finales are very, very similar. With Ready or Not, the bloodbath, I mean, the realization that this is real, everyone's exploding. Like I said, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I was like, it is real. That being said, I'm going to go with Your Next. And the reason I'm going to go with Your Next is because, like, she went through all of that, right? And then the reveal that she was betrayed, had the cell phone, and Sharni Vincent, I think both of these ladies, much more Sharni Vincent because she hasn't, done a whole bunch of stuff in the same vein, but they're both underrated final girls, you know. And we did a top 10 of our favorite final girls a long time ago. It might have been about 2 years ago, but both of these characters were on the list, and rightly so. But they're very underrated. But when she kills, witchmajiggy, her boyfriend or whatever, it was just so raw. She just stabs him in the neck really quick, and then of course he's like, why? She's like, why the fuck not? And so the beat of that moment, you're like, okay, she got a revenge. But as soon as that happens, boom, she gets shot in the shoulder. Like you said, kill. It's very reminiscent of Night of the Living Dead. And I'm thinking, oh my God, is she going to get killed? And then of course the trap is set. She's like, no, don't. And then boom, it cuts. I think it was just a fantastic finale. Both are great finales, but I'm edging it out to Your Next. All right. In the chat, we got Elm Street's Last Pets in the chat. What's up, man? Good to see you. Going with Ready or Not. And again, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It would be much appreciated. Wayne's going with Your Next. Paula is going with Ready or Not. Polar is going with Ready or Not. Had me cracking up, but I prefer Your Next. The trap we all forgot about. Okay, all right. So you're going with Your Next. And Sarah is going with Ready or Not for the finale. All right. Okay. Next category. Let's see. You knew we were going here, Eric. Grace or Aaron? Who you giving the point to?
Now this is easy.
Is it though? Really?
It is.
Not for me.
Of course.
Wait, well, okay. If it's that easy, why don't you go first, Corey?
Yeah, go ahead.
I will.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna say Aaron because who would have thought that her dad was like a survivalist cult friggin' person and taught her all these skills to kick ass, to, try to save people. It was so smart when those arrows were coming through and she was giving people chairs to run by that window. How many people would have thought of that? You know what I mean? She was in the trap she set, and she was just, totally Aaron. But go ahead, guys.
Totally. Wow.
Totally,
Okay.
okay.
All right, Eric. How about you?
Well, I'll say why it's hard for me. You know, they're very similar, other than that. You know honestly, what Coriander just said with the whole survival thing. You know, they're both outsiders. You know, Grace comes from foster homes, and now she's married into this rich family. You know, you hear people scoff at Erin. Oh, I don't like her accent, type of thing. You know, so she's kind of looked at as an outsider. They're going through all this trouble, the whole ending thing. I'm going with Grace, and here's why: is I like the fact that she's not like the whole survivalist thing. She's doing this as she goes along. She is this out of place, you know, are we really going to play this stupid fucking game type of thing? You know, she knows it's stupid. And then she has to go from that type of person to you know, to a lesser extent. She kind of reminds me of Sarah Connor. Meek waitress to badass at the end. And I love that gradual change. I'm not really a big fan
I mean, all she was doing was like running and hiding. The freaking
that's
sister.
like realistic.
I'm not a big fan of the fact that Erin just happened to be the daughter of a survivalist, so she already knows how to do all this stuff.
Who would have known? Hey, who would have known that though? You know, you didn't know that at first.
I
Just
didn't,
saying.
and I didn't really like it when we found out that she was. So that's why I'm going with Grace.
Okay.
I like the Sarah Connor
That's too bad.
parallel because you're right. It is very much like a Sarah Connor thing. I never really thought of it like that, but good call on that. Kill, how about you?
Okay, I'm gonna come at this from a different angle. Who are they going against? Are you going against a super rich family that hasn't had to do this for a few decades and they're not professional killers? Or are you going against the Lamb clan and these guys are paid killers, Mr. Fox, Mr. Lamb, and the other one? Like, you know, I'm looking at it in terms of they're using sophisticated weapons. They don't have the same code. They don't have the same code that the family has. Oh, we'll do it like great granddad did, and so forth. And yes, it is convenient that Erin has this particular set of skills, but I think that the fact that we didn't know that, you know, and whatever skill she has, I'm pretty sure her dad didn't teach her, hey, let me show you how to murder people. But I feel because her father was a survivalist, just that instinct to survive got her through this. So I'm just going at it based on who they're going against. Are you going against a bumbling idiot that killed 2 or 3 of the help, you know, from Ready or Not? Or are you going against these guys that have a game plan? Not only the ones on the outside are part of it, they have people on the inside that are part of it. So Erin has to contend with all of them and outsmart all of them. I got to go with Erin. All
right. Okay. To me, this is difficult. And here's the thing. Now, obviously, when we have these matchups, we usually have 2 movies that have a lot of similarities, but they're not exact same, right? So these are 2 different movies in a lot of ways as well. And that means these are 2 different types of final girls. And you guys have already said a lot of it. One is trained. So everything she did, that makes sense because she's trained. The other person is a regular, everyday person that figures it out, that has to figure it out, which is most everyone that's watching this thing right now and us on the panel. So, you know, there's good stuff in both. You know, for me, this is really tough. And I can't remember where I placed these when we did our top 10, you know, who I placed above who. But this is barely, you know, I'm going to pick this by just a little bit. And I'm going to go with Erin. And the reason I'm going to go with Erin is because as I'm watching it, just seeing Sharni Vinson portraying this character and just, you know, she continued to ramp up these levels of ability in this film. Granted, she's trained, so that's fine. But there was a lot of stuff going on as well where, you know, she wasn't perfect. You know, she wasn't perfect. Some things backfired. She got hurt. She was scared sometimes and so forth. And just, you know, looking at it as a final girl, I've just always had a high admiration for her. And, you know, and that's not to put Grace down, because I think that especially Samara portraying this character that was able to do what she did, and it was also some light moments too, the dark comedy. It was very entertaining. But again, I'm slightly going to give the edge to Erin from You're Next. All right. This was an interesting one. This was an interesting one. Just to catch up to the chat, Polar says a particular set of skills we all repeated in Liam's voice, right? That's right. That's right. That's right. Shout out to Liam Neeson. Polar reminding people, please hit the like button. We really appreciate it. Troy's in the chat. Hey, what's going on? And again, if you guys haven't hit the like button, please do. Saying if we're talking better final girl, Grace, Aaron is more badass than everyone from the start. They would be lucky to survive her. Okay. I think you're going with Grace. I'm not sure. Let us know. Wayne is going with Aaron. Polar is saying only Sid for me tops Aaron. I love her that much. She isn't quite a goat, so I'll deem her a lamb. All right. This is so funny, man. We're gonna keep going with that one for a while, Polar. Elm Street's Last Brag going with Ready or Not. And it looks like Julie can't decide. It's tough. It's tough, isn't it, Julie? It's tough, man. Okay. Our final category, guys, is going to be choosing which movie we're going with. Eric, who gets the point, the movie you enjoyed the most?
I'm gonna go with Ready or Not. Like I said it already, it's more fun. I like the characters, and then just that finale at the is it gonna work? Is it not going to work type of situation. It's I of the two, they're both great, but I'm going with Ready or Not.
Okay, all right, Kill. How about you?
I'm gonna go with You're Next. Barely, very barely. Love them both, but yeah, You're Next.
All right, Coriander. How about you?
Yeah, no. I'm gonna go with You're Next also. So.
Okay. All right. For me, this is really tough, man.
Mm-hmm.
I love both of these movies. Both of these movies are really, really awesome movies. They have their similarities. They also have their differences. But I'm going to give the edge to Ready or Not. And the reason I'm going to do that is because we just had a little bit more that we got. We had great kills. We had some fight scenes, not to the degree that we did in You're Next, but we got that. We got the gore. We got tons of blood. But we also had some memorable characters. And I think that's the part that really puts it over the top just by a little bit. Just by a little bit. So I'm going to edge this out with Ready or Not for me. All right, guys. In the chat, Troy was going with Grace as far as the choice between Aaron and Grace. Polar is going with You're Next for the film. Julie is going with Ready or Not. Kenny's going with You're Next. All right. Okay. And Wayne is going with You're Next. A more serious, brutal horror. Yes, it is. It's definitely the more brutal one. No doubt. Okay, guys. So we're going to add up these points here. We're going to just do a final recap. Eric, I'll start with you as I count these points. Let us know what you thought about this matchup so far.
I am very, very happy that we did this one because, like I said earlier, I'd only seen these movies the one time before prepping for tonight, and I had so much fun with both of them. I'm a sucker for a home invasion movie. You know what I mean? That's one of my favorite little genres for horror. So Your Next was great, but then I just had so much fun with everything that's involved in Ready or Not, how absurd it is. Again, that finale, all the characters, it was great having two very, very similar, but very, very different, like in tone, in my opinion, like story wise, movies going against each other. So tonight was a lot of fun.
I agree, man. Both of these movies are great, and like you said, they are similar, but they get to where they are very differently. One has training, one does not. But I will say this: I enjoyed seeing the soft side of Aaron because you get to see a lot of her not in combat. And you get to see her just being an awesome girlfriend, going to try to borrow milk from the neighbors, just laughing and drinking with her fiance's brother. you don't really get to see Grace do that too much because unfortunately they're just like, hey, you just got married, it's time to play.
Yeah.
You know. But it was good to see the soft side of Aaron the badass. So yeah.
Well, I enjoy both movies a lot. They're similar, yes, but different, because one is you got the comedy and all of that, and the other is definitely serious all the way through. But yeah, I enjoy them both. So go ahead, Night.
All right. Okay. Real quick in the chat, Polar saying this is as tough as when we did Freddy's Dead versus Resurrection.
For different reasons, but yeah,
That's right. That's right. Polar saying it was such a fun stream. If you didn't see it, watch the replay. Yes, definitely watch the replay. This is, I believe, our 24th episode in this series.
Wow.
And I put this out on social media, and I really do mean it. I'm really happy about this series. It's been so much fun, and it's something that that we're having fun with, doing it a little bit differently with the whole concept. So definitely for you guys here, if you're able to share it out to other folks and help support us with this particular series that way, that would be fantastic, because we really enjoy it. We enjoy the interaction with you guys in the chat as well, so but this is a really fun series. Polar saying there really is no loser here. They're both amazing movies. Yes, very, very true. Wow, man is in the chat late, but I'm here. All right. Well, we're about to
showed up.
Yeah, we're about to announce the winner. All right. She said, at least I hit the like button before ending. All right. There you go. All right, guys. So the points have been tallied up, and we do have a winner. Of course, we do have a winner. So with a score of 28 to 36, the winner is Ready or Not.
Okay.
28 to 36. At one point, this was tied as well, man. And it always trips me out, because I think on every episode, except for maybe one of our earlier episodes, we always get to a point where these movies are tied. And then so for me, as I'm jotting down the points that you guys give, I'm always thinking who's gonna take the lead. So yeah, it was a good one. Ready or Not, cool. Squeaked it out 36 to 28. And for you guys in the chat, we are going to do something a little bit different, but we already have our matchup for next week already set. The live stream link will be put up shortly, but next week, and this was Eric's request, an idea, which I think is a really good one, because we got to get back, to basics a little bit, Eric, right?
Yeah, we I think Michael's been sitting on his laurels a little too long. He went 3 for 3, and he deserves his rest. But now we got to get some competition, and after him. So
that's right. Michael went through the legendary gauntlet 3 times, which was crazy. Yep. So we got some of these other guys looking to get a title shot. So next week we're going to be doing, for our next matchup, New Nightmare versus Scream 2. So that will be for next week, next Tuesday, 7:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always, for Battle World. So we hope that you guys can join us next week. The live stream link will be up in just a few minutes, so please give that a like. We would definitely appreciate that. That'd be very, very cool. Man's like, wow, right? Once again, we've had this happen quite a few times in recent weeks. Artist, whether it be actress or director, versus themselves. So we're basically going Wes Craven, rest in peace to Wes Craven versus Wes Craven. So it's going to be a good one. We've talked about this one and all the ins and outs of why this is going to be a good matchup. So, and Julie says, whoa, nice. I know, right? It's going to be an interesting one, guys. It's going to be an interesting one. All right. Elm Street's Last Brat saying awesome. I figured you'd say that.
Yeah, he'd be interested.
Yes.
Still love that name. Oh, I love
That's
that
right.
Name.
Russell saying never seen them. Really, Russell? Russell, you got some homework.
Yeah.
Because we got to, because see, here's the thing. When we do these, just to explain this to you guys, because there's a lot of prep that goes into doing these streams, because we don't watch just one movie. We have to watch two, you know? So definitely within the next week, try to check out Wes Craven's New Nightmare and Scream 2. They're both fantastic films. This is going to be a great matchup, guys. Seriously. So check those movies out. You won't be disappointed. All right. So that's all we have for Battle World. We will see you guys next week. Definitely join us. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about these two movies. You guys had a lot of great stuff to say. Let us know down in the comment section. We'll continue the discussion there. We will catch you next time. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.
Cheers.
Peace.
Up, church.